Welcome, Circle of Friends. I'm Randall Friedman, registered massage therapist, and I'm going to be your webinar presenter on June 16th. I'm really looking forward to this. Looking forward to sharing with you the things that I've been doing for the last 18 years. What I want to share with you is a new understanding of how we create our thoughts, feelings, and memories. It's a different way of thinking than the way we've been brought up. I'll go into more detail on the webinar. This is really about doing some little prep work so that you can get the most out of our session. And the first exercise that I'm going to have you do, well, first of all, I'd like you to set yourself up for success. So I want you to plan a little bit of time, create a space, turn off your electronics, and keep the people out. You need about 10 to 30 minutes to do this, so it's going to be quick and easy. And so let's get started. The first exercise is all about finding a thought, a feeling, a memory that makes you incredibly happy. Something that just you cannot help but smile when that thought occurs to you. It may not be something you think of very often, but when it's there, it just comes out of you. I want you to actually find that feeling. For many of you, this will be really easy. Hopefully, most of you have had a lot of great experiences in your life. For some, it's a little bit harder. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to perhaps find those feelings. For many people, it could be the day that you first held your baby. Notice what that felt like. Or if you've got a dog, the day you brought your dog home and the excitement and that puppy and how lovable it was. For others, it's the day they got married. Or perhaps for some of you, the day you got divorced. Freedom! A walk on a beach, perhaps a walk in the woods. One of the ways that we enhance these feelings is that we pay attention to the details, the smells, the feelings. If you're on a beach and what brings you that sense of peace and bliss is the feeling of the sand between your toes, or the warm water as it's lapping on the edge of the beach, or even the sounds of the waves. Those things are things that are fairly universal to us that ultimately we feel good about. And I want you to pick one really strong one. Ideally, the strength should be like an 8 out of 10 or more. And if it's a less because you're bombarded by so many of your other thoughts, there's a quick and easy way to enhance that feeling. So take a deep breath, close your eyes. After you found that memory, notice how strong it is. If you want to make it stronger, notice how you're processing that feeling. Are you watching a movie, or is it a picture in front of you? Are you listening to music? Is it a symphony and the music is playing and it's a feeling inside of you? You can even notice where that feeling is. If it's a movie, notice the size. Make it big. Make it all-encompassing so it's a huge movie. Notice how that impacts your feeling. You can change the color, so you can crank up the saturation so the colors are richer, and you can turn the sharpness up so that the things that are most impactful in that memory are really, really sharp. You can focus in on those. How are you creating this? Are you seeing this happen to you? Are you looking at it from the third person point of view? Or are you actually inside your body looking out through your own eyes? It's much more impactful in most cases to actually be in the first person view. So if you're seeing it happen to you, move yourself into that space, notice it, make it bigger, make it brighter, make it stronger. Own that. And then during the webinar, I'm going to show you how to anchor it so that it's yours on demand. The second exercise isn't quite as pleasant, but really important to give you a sense of how impactful this methodology of understanding how we create our thoughts and our feelings and our belief systems so that we can change them at will. So for this one, I want you to find 4 unpleasant feelings thoughts, memories that you really don't like and you wish were not in your life anymore. Take some time with this, because our negative experiences are usually wrapped around in fear, angst, anger, whatever it happens to be, and they're unpleasant experiences. So we tend to want to avoid them. But for this moment, I want you to go to those feelings. I don't want you to fall down the well with them, so don't go into great details, but just observe the ones that have been persistent over the years. It doesn't really matter how old they are or how, doesn't really matter how old they are and how long you've had them for or how well rehearsed they are. Just observe them, and then I'm going to have you write them down. And I want you to pick 4 of them, because with this experiment we're going to do, you're not actually going to be focusing on the actual feeling or the thought of the memory. You're going to be focusing on the volunteer's thought and feeling and memories. And I think what you're going to find is that magically they will be impacted greatly, reduced significantly. So do the work, find the feeling, find the memory, write it down, a quick little summary so that you can go back to it, and just a statement, you don't have to go and describe the actual memory itself, just enough to trigger you back into that so you can get a sense of that. Write down the intensity of that feeling in the present now, and then just before we do the session, I'd like you to go back and review, go back to that wonderful positive memory, notice how strong it is. If it's not very strong, make it bigger and brighter again. And then check in with the 4 different pieces that you found that you just wish were no longer a part of your life. And I'm going to show you how to change that forever. And the last thing is, of those 4 memories, if there's one that you'd be willing to share with the group, perhaps be my demonstration, please note which one they are, and perhaps just a sentence about what it is that it was. Then it'll help me pick one of you to do a demonstration. But that's what the other 3 can be very, very private and deep and dark, so that you get the most out of this. But if you can share one of them, that would be very, very helpful. So I look forward to presenting to you on the 16th, taking you on a journey, perhaps changing your minds forever, and empowering you with a technique that won't take very long, but if you use it regularly, can impact every aspect of your life. Thank you very much for doing the work, and I'll see you on the 16th.